Piva is not happy today. I'll just start over. My name is Jenny. I am an animal communicator and energy healer for animals and their people too, and I'm having arguments with technology today. While I'm working my friend Tali. She's a 28-year-old Kentucky mountain horse that we are rehabbing this spring. She had a really hard spring, ended up getting diagnosed with PPID, or Cushing's as some people know it. And so we are in rehab phase. So we've been working for about 12 minutes. And the pivo keeps losing us, irritatingly enough. So we're trying to find the spots that make the pivo happy. Hey, pivo, don't go away. There you are, pivo. Good job. Come on. Look, pony. And there's a nice lick and chew from her while we dabble about trying to get this sorted. I never know what's going to make the pivo happy. It's not like when the horses turn. Even though I told it we were lunging, but apparently it does not understand that concept. So we're making funky shapes today, partly to support her body and partly to see where the pivo goes. But we are working on her balance, and this is a low weight, high reps situation. So really trying to give her the steps in balance. I like that her speed has picked up. She started out at like 1 mile an hour. Her speed's picked up a little bit. She's beginning to straighten out her body. And we don't have much left of the 15 minutes that I originally set the timer for, but I think I might add a little time to this direction and let her really work on that for a little bit longer this way, because it seems like it is doing some good. So, all right, Peeve, come with us. Nope. Yes, there you go, Peevo. Good job. Good job, little machine. So she's going in and out of balance a little bit, but that's expected. But I like how thoughtful she is about her foot placement. She's really good about where her feet are and where they're going, because she's really exploring better movement. You can actually see it happening right there in that front leg. As long as the pivo sticks with us, you'll be able to see some as she actually considers where to put that leg. So horses have to be allowed to find their leg placement and movement in order to actually make changes in their body. There's our 15-minute mark. Let me see if I can let her swing around and find some 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's do 5 more minutes in this direction. All right, Pivo, stick with me. Did we make it? I think we might have made it. All right, good job, little Pivo. I might have company here in a bit, but we'll see. It's not a bad day for a ride or work. So we aim for anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes of work. Lantern flies. And it really is about getting these steps in with the best quality movement as possible. And the thing is, this leaves me free because she is not difficult to work like this, as you can see, especially with the amount of hours I've done this type of work. So I get time to think about me and where I am in space and how my quality of movement is, because despite just being on long reins, my quality of movement affects her quality of movement. And if I am walking slumped and not being conscious of my posture and my presence, then that is going to impact her as well. And it's tough when they're kind of going crazy because, you know, you're trying to manage all the forces and help support their body. And so it's easy to end up not aware of what's going on in your own body. But when you have times like this where the horse is quietly moving along and you're really only monitoring for small changes, then you get more time to think about yourself, because you can juggle all of those things at one time. It's not easy. And of course, with the changes that she's making, lost the Pivo again. Oh, Pivo went all the way around. Come on, Peeve. There we go. Hi, look, a pony. With the changes that she's making, that means that I need to stay on top of my own changes. And the more conscious I am of myself, the more aware she can be of herself. There's some other little funky leg changes and shifts. Her head's dropping even lower right now. So let's see if we can keep Pivo around the turn. Come on, Pivo, don't leave. Don't leave us with the babies. Good girl. Interestingly, that turn gave us a little more speed. Come on, Pivo. I'm going to let her do a tight turn here, and hopefully the Pivo keeps up. There we go. Doing all right, I think. I hope. Very difficult to tell if it's actually aiming at me or not. So this is very nice. And there's our timer for 5 more minutes. I'm going to switch this to 20 minutes the other way and see what we get. And maybe the Pivo will keep up with us through this turn. Hey, girl. I know. Going the other way. There we go. Let's swing around the turn here. See if we can keep the Pive with us. There we go. That's all right. So let's see what's different on this side. There's our friend riding. Hopefully Pivo does not wander away with her. Morning. All right, how are you? And a girl. Alright, let's see if we can keep. There we go. Oh, good, Pivo. Good job, Pivo. Alright, so this direction is a little more unsteady, not quite as rhythmic. Not quite as much of the neck tip to the outside, but possibly a little more falling to the inside. We'll see how this works out. Alright, let's swing you into the turn, darling. See if we can keep our friend Peeve with us. Come on, Pivo, come on. I think we might have done it. So this direction, she tends to need more straighter lines, longer straightaways. She starts out a little rougher than usual in the beginning as well. And quite a bit of falling to the inside here, so we're really gonna add a little bit more tension on this outside rein. So it was her right hind that had a suspensory strain about 3 years ago now. Just from a little too much work all at once. So this direction has been challenging for her. This is going to be a little bit of a tight turn while I try and get the Pivo to stay with us. Not too bad. There we go. So you can see her head has a little bit of a tendency to come up a little more on this side. Just a little more tension in her body on this direction. Like I said, she's falling in, so I'm having to use my outside rein a little bit more heavily. If it was 3 pounds on the other side, it's like 5 or 6 going this way. Come on, Peeve, stay with us. Oh, I think it made it. It might have made it. Good girl. Lovely. Oh, I think we did. So this direction, she's using a little bit more momentum in order to maintain her speed, which is why her speed is a little faster. That's okay. Alright, let's see if Pivo can hang with us with a friend in the background. That a girl. It's a little bit of a tight turn for her through the corner, and then we'll do a big diagonal here. Not much effort to get her moving again. That's nice. There we go. I guess we're just making triangles today. So she slows down a little bit into the turn, that's fine. This is tighter than I would prefer to make it, but here we are. She did pretty well though. And I think Pivo's still with us. What? There we go. Nice blow. It's the first time in this direction. Good long blow. Excellent. And on the lick and chew, a little more speed. Some of that is a little imbalanced, but that's okay. So we're gonna we have some friends joining us, so we'll see how this goes. A little bit of a funny step there, but that's all right. So let's see if we can swing really gentle through this turn. Kind of keep it wide for her. And maybe the Pivot will stay with us. Good girl. So this is pretty good. I know your friend's here. We're not done working. Woof. Starting to sweat now. Doing pretty good though. So she's really beginning to work some things out. We've got a little more than 10 minutes left in this direction. There's a lick and chew. Very nice. A little bit of reorganization, that's totally fine. There we go. Good job, Mama. So it's not uncommon for this to happen as they go through sorting out the changes. They can get sticky, they can want to go to reverse. We're just going to let her work it out. Ask that hind quarter to move. So now that we have the distraction of another rider in the other end of the arena, we will see if we can stay focused. So So I don't mind the halts, especially because she's easy to restart. So it's telling me she's working on something. A little more speed. There we go. I like that she lowered her head right there before we walked off again. It's really good. A little bit of falling in afterwards though, so we'll get reorganized and she goes, wait a minute, that was too much. I like that when she chooses halt instead of continuing to move in a disorganized fashion. So she's really falling to the inside, so that outside rein is getting a good workout. All right. There we go. Very nice. I haven't had much to say this time because there just isn't a lot going on. But it's really critical that we actually support them through these phases and don't skip it because it seems to be boring. And I think that's the mistake that many people make, is it's boring and so they just don't worry about it. They don't want to do it. Sometimes being bored is the only way to find the better quality movement. Good girl. Lovely. So really working on reorganizing. It's a little bit more of a struggle today than it has been, or than it was last week, but that's okay. Things come and go in waves, and these layers have to change in waves. And just because one week is not quite as good as it was the week before does not mean that you've actually regressed. Very nice. A little bit more rhythm and steadiness. Oh, and a nice breeze with a cloud. How nice. All right. There we go. There we go. It's sticky, but that's okay. Oof, sticky, sticky. All right, let's swing through this turn again. Something kind of let go in that back leg. I don't know if that was the left leg or the right leg. Either way, she had to kind of reset from that. There we go. Again, a little more. There we go. Just finding some rhythm. It's taken more than 15 minutes at this point to kind of find a new level of steadiness for her. Which is not bad or good, it just is. And there's the lick and shoe. She is falling inward a little bit less. So I'm having to use my outside rein a little less than I was. It's just good. We're getting there. There we are. Oh, very nice breeze. Help blow all this dust away. Very nice. A little bit of a half thought about, how do I do this? There we go. So not much to look at today, but I think these days are the ones that are the most critical. The boring days are the ones that actually build, so that when we have not boring days, we're prepared. There we go. Honestly, I think I relish the boring days the most. These are the ones that build the connection. They build those habits. And I think as a result, most days become boring, which is fantastic. We rode a couple weeks ago with a crane in the background, moving containers. And it was boring. And that's perfect. Reorganize. So we're almost at our 20 minutes, and I think we're going to call it a day today. Because all of a sudden we're falling in a little more. There's a little more distraction, but I think we have hit the point where we're struggling a bit. So we're going to go ahead and call it quits when the bell goes off. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate the company. And we'll see y'all next time. There we go. Good job, my dear. So lovely. Atta girl. Yes, you did good. Thank you. You did good. Thank you, dear.